I speak unto thee this day, and I say that if men would set it to their minds, to their hearts, to work, to labor for me, to rebuild the standard of righteousness, so could it be. That is, it is not too late if men will indeed labor together, labor for me, labor in love, that my standard could be reclaimed. For I say, as it was in the days of old, when the wall was completely torn down, and lay in heaps of rubble and ashes, I say, so it was that the people set their minds to work. That is, to work to rebuild the wall that would separate them from the heathen, that would separate them from the enemies of my purpose, that would separate them unto me. I say, so it is even now that the standard has been reduced to heaps of rubble, yet I say it is not too late. For I say, if men will truly put their hands unto the task at hand, to labor for me, to labor to rebuild, to bring forth once again the standard of righteousness, the wall of separation, so could it be. For I say that I, the living God, would be with a people who would set their minds to work for me. That is, set their minds to bring forth what it is that I desire, what it is that I require, and adhere unto the same. But I say, you are living in a time, a generation, when men have grown excessively lazy towards me. That is, they have grown lazy towards my standard, my dictates, what it is that I desire and require. And I say they have grown lazy in the sense that they will not labor with diligence for me. Oh yes, they will labor to build, to establish their own kingdoms that are full of iniquity and darkness. But I say that they will not put their hands to work for laboring for me to re-establish my standard. Oh, what fools they are for in such a refusal. I say they set themselves up to receive my wrath, my fury, my indignation. That is, they set themselves up to receive the very things that will keep them far from me. And I say they set themselves up to go in a way that will prove to be damnation of their souls. For I say, while they are busy to labor for the establishment, the promotion of their own little kingdoms, I say they have refused to labor for the establishment and the rebuilding of my standard in this land. Now I say, you are living in a time when I, the living God, am indeed bringing forth my wrath, my fury, my indignation, and I say that I'm justified to do so. And I say it is because men, in all of their pride and arrogance, have refused to labor for me. I say they've chosen instead the way of their own despair, the way of their own futility and darkness, and oh, how they are loving it so. For I say they are loving the fact that the standard is a heap of rubble, that they do not need to pay heed unto the same. That is, the wall of separation between them and the world has been torn down, has been eroded, has been brought to a heap of rubble beneath their feet. And oh, how they are glad in the same, because it does not mean that they must walk uprightly in me. But to them it is the signal that they can indeed mix and mingle freely with the world and partake of the vanity of the same. That is, partake of the darkness, the filthiness, the abomination that is found in the world when the standard has been brought down to rubble. Now I say that I, the living God, am calling forth the ones who will indeed be willing to labor for me, and I say, though they be few and far between, I say that I'm finding such ones. That is, I am finding ones who are moaning and groaning over the dissipation, the loss of my standard, and I say they are the ones who are willing to rebuild the same. And I say such ones are a joy unto me because they are willing to work, they are willing to labor for me. Now I say, when you look upon what it is that I, the living God, do give thee, I say that I give thee abundance of life. That is, I give thee the truth, the light, the strength that is only to be found through me, that you can indeed come forth rejoicing in my way. That is, that you can indeed be uplifted and purposed, directed, guided, and instructed in the truth, the light, the strength that I offer and provide. For I say it is me, the living God, and me alone, who is the truth, the life, the strength, the mercy, and the peace always. Therefore I say, in an adulterous, a wayward, a vile, and corrupted generation, consider how much mercy that I the living God do offer, that I do give to thee. For I say, it is me, the living God, who is the way of righteousness, the way of blessedness, the way of truth, provided always. And I say, when you will be coming forth, ever guided in that way, then I say you are a joy unto me. But I say, when you refuse my way and set out to establish your own way, I say all you really do is tear down more of the wall. For I say, when men will be self-willed, independent, and determined to live for me their way, they are not living for me. But I say they are living for themselves and acting as though it is me that they serve, when it is not true. Now I say that I the living God am not deceived, nor am I mocked. And when men will further attempt to tear down the wall, to tear down the separation, to tear down the standard, I say they are blinded fools. For I say, when they put their efforts against me rather than for me, I say they are under my wrath. I say there are multitudes even now. They say they are my people, yet I say they will not work for me. But I say they will work for the world, they will work for vanity, they will work for vexation, and oh, how they love it so. That is, they love to go in a way that will prove to be disastrous unto them, a way that will prove to be despair. And I say all the while they are tearing down and pulling down even lower the standard of righteousness that is meant to remain. And I say they have literally joined the world in fighting against me. Now I say all the while these hypocrites, mockers, and scoffers, who insist and persist in their own way, will lay claim to my name as though they were mine. But I say, when they are so feverishly laboring against me, it is not me that they serve. But I say they are serving the lust of their own evil hearts, they are serving the indulgence of the god of self. And I say they are disgust to shame unto me, and they will indeed be found under my wrath. I say this day that I the living God am indeed blowing the trumpet near and far unto those who will pay heed. I say they will be rallied unto me. That is, they will be rallied to stand to declare and put forth my standard once again. And I say they will do diligence to labor for the same, to work for the way of uprightness, to work for the standard, to work for the truth of who I am. And I say that when they are laboring in such ways, they are well-pleasing unto me. Now consider that I the living God never called thee to be pleasing your own selves, to be walking afar off from me, to be taken in the throes of that which will destroy thee. That is, by working against my standard rather than for the rebuilding of the same. For I say it is a time that I the living God would restore, if men would labor for the restoration of my standard in the land. For I say it is me, the living God, who does indeed show forth pity and compassion upon a people when they will be faithful unto me. But I say, when men will be proven to be liars, deceivers, unfaithful wretches, who insist and persist in their own way, what is it that they do? I say they take themselves down the road of despair, futility, and darkness, because they have chosen to labor in opposition to me. That is, because they have refused the standard of righteousness and have brought in the standard of filthiness. I say they are abomination unto me. For I say that I the living God never intended that men would be lower than beasts, living in degradation, but I say that is of their own doing. For I say they are choosing to oppose me, they are choosing to despise my standard and labor in opposition to me. Now I say you are living in a time when I the living God do delight to give forth my truth, my light, my purpose unto all who will be accepting of the same. But I say that the ones who are rejecting the truth, the light, the strength that I provide, of course they will pay for the same before me. For I say that I the living God am not mocked, and when men and women have chosen the way of opposition to me, I say they have chosen the way of their own despair. And yes, indeed, they will pay for the way that they have chosen, because they are far from me. Now I say that I the living God do not call thee to walk afar off from me, but I say that I call thee to be coming forth in me. That is, I call thee to be uplifted and guided, directed, corrected, and given the truth, the light, the strength, the mercy of who I am. I say that I've called thee to be ever purposed in the rebuilding of my standard, the reestablishment of my wall of righteousness, that men could be kept in me. For I say, indeed, when the wall is in place, then the enemies cannot easily invade nor overwhelm and overtake. But I say, when the wall has been torn down, then I say that the enemies make easy inroads, make easy captives of my people. For I say, there is nothing to protect and separate them. Now I say, you are living in a time when I, the living God, do look throughout the land for those who will be willing to work with due diligence before me. That is, they will be willing to labor at that which I give them, which is the truth and the light upon the path. That is, they will be willing to labor to work for the re-establishment, the rebuilding of my standard, knowing the importance of the same. And I say, when I find those ones, then I say that I strengthen, overshadow, and direct them. For yes, indeed, they are laboring according to me. I say this day that I, the living God, do not intend that men would be totally degraded and debauched as they are in these times. But I say that debauchery, that degradation is upon them, because there is no separation between them and the vileness of the world. For I say that the world is full of all manner of corruption, and I say that the same is a disruption to my way. For I say, when men will not be separated from sin, how can they truly declare my kingdom? They cannot. I say there are multitudes who are declaring in this wicked generation a kingdom of fakery and pretension and hypocrisy, then claiming that it is of me. But I say they are not teaching my people the difference between the perverse, the wicked, and the righteous, not at all. Nor are they teaching them the difference between the clean and the unclean, but I say they have it all muddled together as one. Then they are declaring that that is what my desire is towards humankind, but it is not true. For I say that I, the living God, do delight when men will separate from sin, will come into the standard of righteousness and abide in the same. And I say, when men and women are willing to come forth in the way that I give them, then they are well-pleasing unto me. But I say, when they are living in a place of degradation, a place of despair and filthiness, I say they are no joy to me. In fact, they will be found under my wrath, and damnation shall be their reward. I say, how foolish it is for men to neglect the standard, to allow the same to be in rubble, to allow the same to be walked on as though it was nothing to respect at all. For I say that it is indeed my standard that separates and protects my people from the ungodliness, the filthiness of the world. And I say, when the standard is brought forth, reclaimed, and rebuilt, then men will be able to perceive what it is that I desire of them. But I say, when the standard is down, reduced as the wall to rubble, I say that men are so confused and live in abomination unto me. I say this day, be thankful for the standard, be thankful for the reclaiming, the rebuilding of the same. And I say, be thankful to know that it is me, the living God, who will strengthen thee in the way, if you will but indeed work with due diligence for me. For I say that I will indeed overshadow, equip, and anoint the ones who are willing to declare the truth in the midst of darkness, to declare the truth to a wayward generation. I say, be thankful to be able to reestablish and declare my standard once again.